hungry.
Yes, Jack. Yes, we are. We hunger for the cinema of 2000s kids movies, and we're gonna eat today, as the kids say. We're eating good with the 2002 masterpiece, Big Fat Liar. Yeah, woo! Yeah. Did you guys see Frankie Muniz was just racing in like the fucking Daytona 500 or whatever? Did you guys see that?
Yeah, he came in like nine, something like that.
Yeah. He was proud of it.
Let's go, Malcolm.
He's very proud of it.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm proud of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's huge.
glad to see him doing well.
But he wasn't a part of like the big crash, you know, because like at the end there was that big,
Was there?
yeah, like big.
He was in that one.
What's that?
That's where it was.
The Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was
that's
like
where
this
he was in
big,
that
like
one.
everyone was sliding out at the
Took
end.
out like the first 7 people.
Yeah.
Everyone moved up.
Yeah, some guy moved up to the front, took it.
Remember-
The crowd went mild.
There was that rumor that like he didn't remember shooting Malcolm in the Middle at all,
Yeah.
and like Bryan Cranston had to like remind him that like it was a popular show that he was part of. I don't know the validity of that, but you know it was circling the internet.
They're rebooting that show. He's going to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Don't know what else he's doing besides racing cars.
I think that's probably like his
It's not acting.
his true calling.
Yeah.
Last thing I remember him being in was he was in the third Sharknado, which
God,
was
you're
titled
right.
2015. It was called Sharknado 3: Oh hell no, and there was an exclamation point after no. Yeah, Big Fat Liar, guys.
Yeah.
This was
I have a drink.
I completely forgot. I was
I'm
about
parched.
to. Yeah.
Everybody's parched.
Forgive me.
Quench me.
So parched.
I got too eager.
I'm so thirsty.
I didn't bring them all in because I just didn't want everyone to see them because they didn't fit in there.
Oh, what we got here?
Ooh.
Look at this.
I remember seeing that at
Johnny Ryan Buffalo Blue Raspberry.
I don't know what
It's a
Brown
shield-
boys,
it's
blue
a
buffalo.
shield potion.
Okay.
Buffalo Blue Raspberry.
Oh, is this? Did you do this for the Marty Wolf?
For the Marty Wolf? Wow.
Did you
From Niagara Falls.
No.
really?
Yeah, no, I
Cane
didn't think
sugar
about
soda.
that.
Oh,
I should have, yeah.
I was thinking. I was like, oh, nice connection.
I don't know if it is what's not nice.
What flavor is it?
Blue Raspberry.
Bro, it's a slurp straw.
Oh,
I was weak.
Got a cheers.
Oh yeah, we gotta get a good
You
cheers.
gotta start cheersing.
that was good.
Great
Dripping.
cheers, boys.
Marty
Oh,
Wolf
good.
juice.
Smell test, great.
That's good soda pop.
716
I like
since
it.
1935.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
feel alone.
Reminds me of Tops. They used to have a 2-liter of blue raspberry pop.
I
They don't
remember
sell it
that.
anymore.
Yeah.
It was like the best thing
You
ever.
know what this reminds me of? The old time cotton candy soda.
Oh, dude, nothing will beat the
Yeah,
old
no.
It was
So it
family
has the
favorite
color
on
of, like,
inside of the
slurp
cap.
juice.
Oh, what
It's
did you
awesome.
guys say? Mine says family favorite.
since
Billy's?
1935.
Since 1935.
Since 1935.
Maybe you
Wow.
just got like the gold Bud Light can
I
for the
did.
Super Bowl. You know, maybe that's like that meant something.
Maybe
Johnny
you were
Ryan
gonna
did
win
that, yeah.
like a one-on-one dinner with Paul Giamatti at your restaurant of choice.
You guys ever had any other Johnny Ryan pops?
Never heard of him.
No,
It's like a little local pop.
Yeah.
Big thing.
Is it?
Sell at like Kelly's Country Store, if you guys know what that is.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I can definitely vouch for him now. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
If you guys had the opportunity to take not even necessarily Marty Wolf, but just Paul Giamatti out to dinner at a restaurant of your choosing, where are you taking him?
It's gonna be hard to
He
please.
definitely seems like a Cheesecake Factory type of guy.
Okay.
But if I'm taking him somewhere, I'm taking him out to Hibachi. You know,
I can see that. I can
show him a good time, a fun time, if you will.
You remember after the Golden Globes last year, after he won for the holdovers, he went to In-N-Out?
Yes.
King shit.
You know what I would
Dude,
do?
he's just a legend. I love him.
I would invite him over and we'd cook some steaks on the grill.
Oh, that might, personal.
Yeah.
That might be the way to go.
He would be like, "You provide the shelter, I'll provide the meats."
Yeah,
Oh.
That's what he would do.
yeah, and you got to make them. I don't know, like your stuffed green bean.
Oh man, he has like a signature rub. He definitely makes this. He's proud of it.
This tastes like bubblegum.
Do you think he's kind of like his Sideways character at all? You think he's really into wine, or you think that's more just in the world of Alexander Payne?
Oh,
I can see him being.
it's
a wine
definitely
guy.
him.
Mhm.
He definitely is a wine guy.
I want to do Sideways eventually, but I don't know how many people here have seen or like that movie. I love that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. We're talking Big Fat Liar.
My first note for this movie is Marty Wolf is such a G.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He is. We're gonna get to him in a little bit because I have a whole thing I had you guys prepared for, and it sounds like David over prepared, and I'm very happy about that. But Big Fat Liar, something that I feel like I've talked to all of you about at some point that I really like is just the vibe of the like late 90s Y2K early 2000s like high school movies. And this movie isn't that, but it has some of that energy, especially right when it opens, like the
music is a big.
The Smash
Mhm.
Mouth.
The Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth skating, the short sleeves, long sleeves combo.
The super goofy cell
I mean,
phone.
yeah.
The spiky hair.
Frankie
Holy-
Muniz's wardrobe throughout this whole movie, the cargo shorts, the backpack,
Mhm.
he's kind of a psychopath liar, but he learns the value of the truth in a pilgrimage to Hollywood to relentlessly fuck with Marty
Throughout
Wolf.
this movie, I was like, am I supposed to be rooting for Frankie Muniz? He's kind of the bad guy.
Yeah.
I did as a kid, and then I grew up and realized Marty Wolf's standing on business.
Right.
It's Hollywood, baby. Like, this kid thinks he's special. He doesn't realize, like, he's, he made the mistake of leaving his essay in the hands of, the hottest producer in Hollywood.
He did. Maybe Marty Wolf thought he was just leaving him a gift.
Yeah.
He did leave it.
Yeah, they were talking about, he needs one more hit to get back on top.
Mhm.
Maybe he was like, well, hell, I wrote this story. Why don't you adapt it?
He's not running a taxi service. He's just doing this
Yeah.
out of the kindness of his heart.
Maybe that was his payment. Was like, you get me back on top, and then
I'm entitled to this paper. Make biffle out of it.
Yeah, you give him a ride too.
mm-hmm.
That's the least you could do.
Sir, I think we hit a kid. I'm on the phone. That has stuck. A lot of this movie has stuck in my head my entire life. This was a childhood favorite. I watched it repeatedly. David, I believe you're the only other one who saw this as a kid.
Mhm.
You had seen it.
I saw this a few years ago, probably. Love it.
And,
I haven't seen it as a kid, but it's become a favorite of mine.
And Billy and Jack, you two had never seen this movie before.
Sir.
We're
No,
watching it for the first time at 22, 21. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, like,
In 2025, mind you. Because I was watching this as a kid in the George Bush era.
I loved it. We were talking, like Pat was saying before we started recording, he was saying, like, he had a consistent smile on his face. And I was like, yeah, it's just, I was just laughing my ass off the entire
I loved
time.
it.
I loved it.
Yes.
It just got that
Like joyous energy. I don't even
Yeah.
know what else you
that
could say
youthful.
about it.
I think a big part of it is, for me at least, it's just that 2002 aura.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's a big thing for me. It's just the vibe. But what takes this movie, I feel, from just another kids movie from that era to another level is Mr. Giamatti as Marty Wolf,
Mhm.
a big shot Hollywood producer who's, you really got to hand it to this guy, because he could have just been like, I'm the villain in some kids movie with Frankie Muniz. I could just phone it in and collect the check. But he put everything in.
This was a passion project.
He
as
goes-
you can tell.
He goes
So-
so hard.
He didn't do this for the money. He did it just to
Have
be a
fun.
part of this great project.
He, like, I don't know. This is my favorite role of his. Sideways, Holdovers are both great, and he's really good at just like popping up and stuff. Like, he's in like Hangover Part 2
Mhm.
for like a second. He's supposedly really good in HBO's John Adams. I've never watched.
He pulled a sixth man in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, as the Rhino.
Like, he goes so hard. Oh my god. And like this Russian accent, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that in the theater.
He's in like
he
one
was the
scene.
Rhino. He was in like the opening and the end, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
He
movie in,
goes
like,
so
10 years.
hard.
It's probably the only thing that goes hard in that movie.
Give this man his Oscar.
Well, he was just nominated last year for Alexander Payne's The Holdovers, which is becoming a modern Christmas classic. It's a lovely movie, but I say he was snubbed for Big Fat Liar, frankly.
Yeah.
And this movie also is just like 90 minutes, maybe a little less. It's so quick and breezy, and it's just a great time. So it's directed by Sean Levy. Interesting filmography from this guy. Dave,
Yeah.
you're looking at me. Are you familiar?
Yeah, just funny.
So he does this. I don't have the whole thing off the top of the dome, but I'll just give you some of the greatest hits and then where we are. 2000s kind of goes on a heater for movies that I grew up with. Big Fat Liar and The Night at the Museum films.
Let's go.
And you're like,
Classics.
okay, Sean. And then 2011, anyone remember Real Steel with Hugh Jackman?
I love that movie.
Hey,
I saw that one.
Dude, he was cooking.
And then I don't know if he's directed any of Stranger Things, but he was at least like he's
Yeah, he's
a
attached
producer
to it.
on Stranger Things. And he's really gotten attached to Ryan Reynolds in the last few years. They did Free Guy, they did the Adam Project, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. But his 2000s stretch for me as a child in the 2000s was like, oh shit. And then stars Frankie Muniz, Paul Giamatti, as we've mentioned, and we will continue to mention.
I saw in the credits Rob Schneider helped write this movie.
Not Rob.
Oh, who was it? Oh,
dude,
oh
I wish it
yeah.
was Rob.
Yeah, we wish it was
He was the final boss.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, crap.
that's we'll get to that. That's aged pretty bad. We should have just kept that innocence in your head.
Final boss.
I just saw Schneider.
Big
Big red flag.
Big red flag.
I was watching this on
Oh,
VHS.
let's just get that now.
You
You watched it?
far away.
You watched it on VHS?
I did.
I watched it on DVD. The same DVD I've had my whole life.
Oh,
What'd you watch it on, Dave?
we really we went.
Yeah,
yeah. I
I-
had the Blu-ray.
We really went up and up.
Yeah,
You watched it on Blu-ray?
yeah.
I had to rent it. I could not find anywhere to
Yeah.
watch it.
Look at that. We literally just
I
went
could
up.
not find anywhere to
We
watch
just
it.
went up from the
Well, I found somewhere to watch it,
Oh, did you?
and that's Goku.sx.
I thought you were gonna say your local library.
Oh, that would have been better. But no, Goku.
You gotta do that sometime.
Yeah,
I had to do that next time. Totally throw a curveball, local library.
yeah, got the Blu-ray. Libraries are underrated. In 2020, COVID summer, I just started going through so many different filmographies, and if movies weren't streaming, I would literally just go to the library and they had the Blu-rays, and I would just watch them. Perfect quality. It was
Nice.
awesome. Yeah. So Frankie Muniz stars as our plucky protagonist, Jason Shepard.
Mhm.
This is like probably, if you're doing the rewatchables, Apex Mountain, this is probably it for him. It's like smack dab in the middle of Malcolm in the Middle, of which he's the titular Malcolm, child genius with a crazy family. And then following this, you got Agent Cody Banks, Agent Cody Banks 2.
Mhm.
I'd say Big Fat Liar might be the apex, because you're also the lead on a great show that lasted several seasons.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the big kid stars of that era. Also, with who else is in this movie? You have Amanda
Unfortunately,
Bynes.
Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
What'd she do to you?
No, like what happened to her?
Oh,
like unfortunately,
I was like,
her-
yeah.
her life didn't pan out as great as it could have.
As expected, yeah.
Well, child stardom's a bitch. It's a terrible place. Don't do it. But that also coincides with the big elephant in the room. The thing that's aged the worst about this movie, it's not the fashion, because that's aged great. It's not the vibes. It's not the technology. It is the second credit in the end credits of this movie. Screenplay by Dan Schneider. That made me sad.
Good, yeah.
Quite
we
frankly.
can just
You're-
ignore
you're
that
like-
Yeah.
for this movie.
Yeah,
You're like, oh yeah, this movie was awesome, and then
you
just
we're gonna treat it like, I don't know, like it's Chinatown or Rosemary's Baby, and just ignore Roman Polanski, just forget Dan Schneider.
Right.
Yeah, but that's aged pretty badly. But whatever. But yeah, Amanda Bynes. Yeah, I mean, really sad stuff. Child star on Nickelodeon. The Amanda Show, Big Fat Liar.
I love the Amanda Show.
I've never seen a
It's
single
so
second of the
stupid.
Amanda Show in my life.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Haven't seen it in a long time though.
What a Girl Wants, She's the Man. I don't think she's been in anything since 2010. She was in Easy A. I don't know if she's been in anything since then. That's 15 years.
I
yeah.
think she does like hair or nails now.
Wait, what?
She does something now, like in 2025.
She looks completely different.
Yeah.
Like she's.
It's
Did she
it's
have,
rough.
Was she pregnant or something like that?
I have no
don't-
idea.
Think so.
And now she
Yeah,
didn't have a child.
But 2002 is a snapshot of just child stardom.
Yep.
And when you're a kid, you don't think about the horrors. I mean, you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
Frankie
you know,
Muniz and Amanda Bynes are really fucking Paul Giamatti.
I got toy
up.
money now.
That's rough.
That's what they're thinking.
You don't think
Definitely
they're
what
thinking
they're
like, oh, what cut of this are my parents gonna take?
Nah,
You
it's
think they're
cool
just
boy
gonna-
actor.
You think they're just gonna buy Nerf guns?
Unlimited candy.
Has a child star ever? I don't think there's ever been one that reached the heights of, and I wasn't alive for this, but supposedly early '90s Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a more famous kid.
Yeah,
Probably not.
Home
Unfortunately,
Alone.
not the Rizzler. Not
Rizzler-
there.
Dude, Rizzler is. They're getting market corrected. Have you guys been seeing that podcast with like the 8th graders about the food?
The food podcast.
Yeah.
Get
Yes,
the
I did.
Rizzler and the Costco version out of here. They're done. I'm putting all my money into the food podcast.
Are so terrible.
They're doing what
Come
we
on,
do
yeah.
just earlier. They're only going to
But you
get
don't
better.
Yeah. Are you making fun of that?
They're doing the
We're
exact
in our
same thing.
20s.
They're only 13.
But they don't even sound like they're having fun.
Because it's a meeting of the minds. They're it's a business meeting. I was watching a clip today and they're talking about what wings do they like, and I was just like, I only eat buffalo. One was saying like buffalo or barbecue.
They're out of here.
I made a shovel motion for the audio.
Oh.
Yeah, Big Boom AJ, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, sayonara.
We bring the book.
You're done.
You can take your personal day in a year or two when you're dead.
Are there any child stars? Like real stars? Like
Not
today?
just like TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, then I feel like Disney Channel became like a whole pipeline of them, but I don't know if there really is today.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. If
I don't.
there's any.
I don't know if there was ever a more famous kid than Macaulay Culkin. I think he literally. So he's Home Alone in 1990 is literally one of the biggest movies ever. He's the kid from it. He has a weird relationship with Michael Jackson, which should have raised more red flags at the time. Although I wasn't alive, so maybe it did. But I feel like that kind of got glossed over. He says nothing happened, so that's good. And then like he hosted SNL. This kid was like 9. That's
crazy.
freaking nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he has had the highest apex of any child star ever. I don't know who even comes close.
He did another one when he was really young too, before Home Alone.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle
He was
Buck.
in Uncle Buck with
Oh,
yeah.
Shanice.
Yeah, and then
I love that one.
he was in more recent years. I don't know how recent this was. In the 21st century, he was in the band Pizza Underground. I remember there was a video of him with really long hair and a beard just eating pizza.
Nice.
I feel like his brother's the one I hear more about these days,
Yeah.
Kieran, who's about to win an Oscar for Real Pain. He's really great. He was in Home Alone 2, meaning as well, not just 2, but he was Fuller, the Pepsi guzzling, bed pissing cousin of Kevin McAllister. Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi. Big fat liar. So I had a project for you guys before we get into the categories. Marty Wolf has always been near and dear to my heart as a menace. An absolute, just over the top straight menace character. And I was wondering, who are some of the other great menaces in the world? Not the real world, the world of film.
Mhm.
I have Marty and another character that has to do with the character named Marty as my 1 and 2. So I'll just throw this out there, and then I know I had you guys make lists. Biff Tannen,
Mm-hmm.
Back to the
That was
Future.
one of mine. Yeah.
Every version of him is
Mhm.
is bad.
That's why I put Biff all versions.
All the Tannens.
Mhm.
So let me take you through. So Back to the Future, just the first one. You have just present 1985 Biff, who in the beginning is like, I spilled beer all over my suit. And what are you looking at, butthead? Then you go back to 1955. You get 50s Biff, who's just an absolute asshole. Then alternate 1985 Biff's just, kind of a pussy washing George McFly's car. Back to the Future 2. Go to 2015. Biff's grandson, Griff, who is probably the most unhinged out of all of them. Better off! And then you got Biff has become old Biff, and he's got his cane that has a fist on it. He's still a menace. And then you go back to 1985 and you go to Hell Valley, and it's Donald Trump Biff, who, smacks around Lorraine, I guess, Tannen, because George McFly's out of the picture. And then you go back to 1950. Back to the Future 2 is a fucking pretzel. And then you go back to 1955, he's still an asshole. Minor! I hate Minor! And then Back to the Future 3, you got Buford, Mad Dog, Tannen. Every version is out of control.
Menace.
So, and then, never mind, Marty Wolf, just abusive asshole Hollywood producer. Do you think he would have survived if Jason Shepard never came around? And, no one, he kind of went unchecked. How much longer do you think he had in him before, his crew revolted? Do you think he would have lasted until the Me Too era? Or would he have gone down with Weinstein?
I think he had decades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think Frankie
I think he
Muniz
was
the
last.
one to... Or I wonder... Yeah. I didn't think about his longevity until right now. And I was like, if this didn't happen, how much longer did he have in him? But you're probably right. He was a man of money.
Yeah. No one was willing to stand up to him until Jason Shepard. So I have no reason to believe that they
an
would have
absolute
if he didn't
disruptor in the Hollywood.
Exactly. An outsider.
I don't know. What does Jason's next few years look like? Are people like, you've completely restructured power in Hollywood? It's crazy stuff. All right, who else is a menace?
I don't know how. And me and Phil watched this not too long ago. Have you guys seen the movie Heavyweights? Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. Oh shit, what's his
plays
name?
Tony Perkins.
Tony Perkins. Yes.
And
wait, have none of you guys seen Heavyweights?
he
Oh my God.
buys a fat camp.
Yeah, and he's like a
tries
fitness.
to
He's like a
get him,
fitness guru.
Yeah, he just brings the fitness, and oh my God,
Ben Stiller,
amazing.
he's up there with Giamatti and Big Fat Liar,
Yeah.
bringing it.
I don't know if you have him on there, but if we're bringing up Ben Stiller, you got to say White Goodman.
Boy, as soon as I
Yeah.
said fitness guru, I thought of White Goodman.
Fitness guru.
Yeah, I had him on there.
They're basically the
He's on
same
there.
person. It's basically the same
yeah.
character, just two different movies.
He's like stuffing the pizza down his pants. Or am I making that up? In Dodgeball?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
My fitness consigliere, Michelle.
Michelle.
I also got Dave Seville
From Alvin and the
from
Chipmunks?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I haven't seen recently enough to know. Is,
I
is
watched
he a
it.
menace?
Oh,
Wait, are you
yeah.
thinking about Uncle Ian, played by Dave and Cross? Or you think Dave is
Are you Dave's?
Dave's
maybe not Dave.
Dave's
the
Dave
chef.
is
You're
Oh,
you're
crap.
thinking
Yeah.
about Ian Hawke.
That's who I'm
David
thinking of.
Cross.
That's also one of mine.
That's who I'm thinking of.
I told you, Dave.
You gotta
Never
name him.
lose.
He
I
was
was-
number 2 on my list.
Oh,
I haven't-
dude, he's so.
I haven't seen that movie in years and years, but he kind of had a renaissance in the meme
Yeah.
world, where there were like hard edits of Ian. So yeah, he's got yeah.
He's a big man.
Ian's
That's a
up
good
there. He never loses.
Hmm.
Might have to do Alvin and the Chipmunks.
And my last one, I got Clubber Lang.
Nice.
Clubber Lang was another one I thought of. Clubber Lang, I feel like, is on the Mount Rushmore.
He's bringing the heat to Rocky.
Mhm.
He kicks Rocky's ass. He just
Tries to steal his girl.
yeah. At the unveiling of the statue, Mickey's like, you're a disgrace, and he's like, shut up, old man. And then he, suggests to Adrian that she stops by his apartment to quote show you a real man. Yeah, Clubber Lang is the biggest menace probably of all time.
Yeah.
In the sports world, absolutely. All right. So that's your list?
That's all. I didn't even look up. These are just ones that came to my head.
Clubber Lang came to mind. Billy, who do you have?
So I had White Goodman.
Mhm.
He was my top one. Complete menace.
Mhm.
I was thinking of some other ones. I had Johnny Lawrence from the first Karate Kid. Just like
Yeah.
a total like
Douchebag.
dick bully. He, let's not forget, drove Ralph Macchio off the road in his car when he was on his bike into a ditch. That's something only menaces do.
How old are they supposed to be in Karate Kid?
I think they're like 15, 16.
Yeah, they're in high school.
Because I mean, he got that car from his Cobra Kai dad. I'm pretty sure that's like a thing that they reference. But those are the only other ones really that I had. I don't know. I was thinking of some, but I didn't know if they fell into the menace category. I had Anton Chigurh. I don't know if that's
I
a
feel
menace or if
he's a
that's
tad
just-
too serious.
Yeah,
I
don't
thought
know if
about
he's
Anton
just-
Chigurh, but He's very stoic and cold.
I was like, he's not really, playing around with it too much. He's just laser focused.
Mhm.
I'm like, what he does is menacing. He himself is not really a menace.
Mhm. Oh, I had one more
So I had a small list.
that came to my mind before, and then I'll let you guys go crazy. Frank Booth from Blue Velvet.
Oh yeah, he's the ultimate menace.
He is.
Oh my god.
I think my Mount Rushmore is Marty Wolf, Biff, Frank, and Clubber. The first time we see him in Blue Velvet, directed by David Lynch,
Showing 1,000.
he literally walks into Isabella Rossellini's apartment and goes, "Shut up! Where's my gin?" He comes in screaming, and then he hits his oxygen mask, going, "Baby wants to fight." And then if you've seen Blue Velvet, he's going nuts.
Yeah.
When-
that's a solid
when-
Mount Rushmore.
When he tells Jeffrey, "We should go for a ride," and he's like, "I don't think that's such a good idea." You don't think what's such a good idea? Going for a ride. Go for a ride? Hell, that sounds like a good idea. What a switcheroo. And then, "What's your beer?" "Heineken." And then he stops in his tracks. "Heineken? Fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon." I think it's the greatest line delivery someone has ever had in a movie. And if you haven't seen Blue Velvet, you gotta watch it just to watch Dennis Hopper go absolutely nuts as Frank.
It's a fantastic time.
I love Blue Velvet.
I have a smaller list, like mine. I just actually, when you were talking literally 5 seconds ago, I just thought of 2 more.
Okay.
But my number 1 has to be The Grinch. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
he's wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
Grinch costume in this movie.
Yeah. Grinch was mentioned
He is a
himself.
menace.
Yeah,
He's
the
a menace.
Universal
He's
backlog.
just totally destroying Whoville. Absolute douchebag.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
I have 2 more that are a little bit more serious. I got Travolta in the 2004 Punisher. He plays this dude Howard Saint. He's just a menace.
Have not
Whereas
seen it.
You got
That the one with Thomas Jane.
I mean,
Yeah.
Travolta did, and I'm sold.
and then I had Momoa and Bullet to the Head.
Is that the Stallone movie?
Yeah, and then I just thought of 2 more. The dudes from Fargo. The 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of their names.
The Steve Buscemi and
Yeah.
You see
Peter
Buscemi?
Stormare?
Yeah,
Stormare,
yeah,
yeah.
those 2.
yeah.
Absolute menaces. But that's
Alright.
all I got.
David, you had a
Alright.
real long list.
I'll run through my list. I don't know who's seen Matilda, but I put Danny DeVito in Matilda.
I know you and Jack are Matilda.
Trunchbull is a menace, bro.
That's his name.
No. I don't even think it was
Oh,
the principal.
oh yeah, I
She's
didn't even think
freaking
about that.
menace,
Yeah.
dude. In Harry
Um,
Potter too.
I put Gremlins. Just
Oh, yeah.
all
That's
of
right.
Yeah.
John Gerard,
Oh,
Amy Poehler and Will Arnett in Blades of Glory,
Yeah.
Art the Clown,
Oh, yeah.
Robert De Niro in King of Comedy.
oh, dude. Robert De Niro and Cape Fear.
That's next. Yeah, Robert De Niro and Cape Fear.
I don't know how I did. I don't know how I blanked on that.
Jake Gyllenhaal in Ambulance.
Yeah, Danny
Oh.
Sharp.
Shooter McGavin.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Deckard Shaw. Chucky.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy in Red Eye.
Oh, my God.
The
The headbutt.
Walter White.
Yeah.
John Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
He acts in the name of justice.
Yeah.
Is John Kramer, is he guilty?
He
Or
didn't do
justified?
anything. He never did anything wrong. He didn't do nothing.
Derek from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I have Ed Rooney, but I said also Ferris Bueller.
Whenever we do Ferris, we got to have the conversation about is Ferris a good person?
Yeah. Because I was
If
thinking
you
about
watch
it, I was
the
like,
movie
Ed
through
Rooney's a
Cameron's
menace.
eyes,
I was thinking about Ed Rooney's definitely a menace because he's going towards the end. He's going to the house and whatnot.
He's
but like
doing
Ferris
a lot.
Bueller's a dick. Like
Yeah.
he's
Dude, Cameron's dad's going to get home and see his destroyed Ferrari.
that's my list.
It's all because.
And then I
Ferris
also
is a
had
douche.
Biff, Ian Hawke, and White Goodman.
There was someone that... Oh, yeah. I don't know how I blanked on Max Cady, Robert De Niro from Cape Fear, when he's fucking under the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's the funniest shit I've ever
Great.
seen in my life. You say Sideshow Bob, too. Sideshow Bob, his whole life is just trying to murder a child because he put him away.
Arlie Ermy in FMJ is also like.
In Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big one too. He's just constantly laying down the law on
Mhm.
everybody. Can't mess with him.
I bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. It's a line
Whatever
set in
the-
the first 10 minutes of Full Metal Jacket.
The one that's always doing the killing and Itchy and Scratchy.
Itchy.
Itchy. Yeah, absolute menace.
Jerry, you
Jerry.
could say. Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Is Jerry the instigator? Or does Tom just start chasing and Jerry's
I
acting
think he's
selfish?
just trying to live his life, and Jerry's just pushing his buttons.
Yeah.
He knows how to get he knows how to get him going. And it
He knows
works.
Tom's pressure
He
points.
does.
And he's like, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. Oh, dude. You know who's a big one? I can't remember if anyone here has seen it. Phil Hartman as the neighbor in Jingle All the Way.
I haven't seen it.
Has no one seen Jingle All the
I
Way?
have seen Jingle All the Way.
Oh, how are these cookies? You know, we're gonna do Jingle All the Way this Christmas. We have to, and you will see the magic that Hartman's laying down. Tim Curry, Home Alone 2, stolen credit card.
Was it Tom Cruise in Taxi? Was it called, or is it what was it called?
Collateral.
Collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral.
Yeah.
Menace.
You could argue Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You know, you say his name 3 times, and then he just fucks shit up. Yeah, that was a fun just exploration of menaces.
Yeah.
I think my top 4 has got to be Frank, Blue Velvet, Marty Wolf, Biff, and Clubber. But I love Max Cady too. Should we get into categories?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Oh, a few more data points. Released February 8th, 2002. Same day as an Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie called Collateral Damage. You know,
just
something for
weeks.
everyone this week.
2 weeks after my birth.
Terminator also menace.
Is he?
I would
Believe
say.
I've never seen The Terminator.
Really?
Or
Ooh.
T2.
I haven't either.
Shocking.
Gotta watch it. Terminator 3 is
I
great
have to
too.
watch.
Rise of the Machines.
Yeah.
All right, best scene. Got one more menace. Patrick Bateman.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how did none of us think of that. Maybe he's a little more than a menace.
Yeah,
Just
that-
actual
he
villain.
did cross my mind, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, definitely menace activity, but he's like,
All right, best scene. I've got a few. Got Jason's bullshit story and the fake phone call in the beginning to the teacher Sandra Oh. You know, just laying down that this is not a boy to be trusted. He can spew bullshit about Swedish meatballs off the top of the dome. And, you know, we think she falls for it at first, and then they pull the old switcher. The reveal of the parents being classic stuff. Got the meeting Shepherd X Wolf in the limo. That fateful
Oh
day.
yeah, I got that one written down.
Yeah.
You know, Marty shares some
He's so
insight
electric
about,
in this scene.
Mhm.
I mean, every scene, but
Yeah.
and this coincides with my best moment, which is when they shake hands and Marty just has this super limp handshake. That was what I had for that. Yeah, you know, Marty gives him some advice about his next lie. He's like, turn the meatball into a chicken wing. You know, he's like, there's a part where he's like, no, I'm the best.
he is the best.
And then, you know, at first when he gets out of the limo, you know, he's like, hey, you forgot your, and then he starts reading it in the eyebrow raise.
it's like
The eyebrow.
what off of that paper intrigued him so much.
Yeah, like this is an 8th grader's story that
14-year-old's paper.
that he wrote in 2 hours.
And he doesn't even look at it for like more than a second before we're like, what the hell is
Yeah,
this?
like-
It's going to
That's the
change
title,
my
isn't
life.
How good are Jason's writing skills? Do you like a young Stephen King with untapped
So,
potential?
maybe he
Immediately
was.
This leads into my first flaw with this movie. Why doesn't he just rewrite the story? Or
That's true.
you
The
know,
movie didn't even start shooting yet.
Jason just wrote this story. Why doesn't he just write it again?
Well, he had to get it to the. I think it was more.
Well, when he's
about
like at the
bad-
meeting explaining what happened, they don't believe him. Why isn't he just like, hey, you know, I just wrote the story. Let me write it again.
It was
He wrote
already
it pretty
taken from him.
quickly.
I
It
don't
was
know.
already stripped from his
I
hands.
don't know if
He had no
it was
time.
that it was pretty popular once that trailer, I guess, came out. I feel like maybe
No, but I think he means immediate. You mean like when they're talking to the teacher and she's like, "All right, summer
Yeah.
school." I don't know. Maybe he thought.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe he
Just
thought
rewrite it,
the
dude.
Marty Wolf excuse would be good enough.
Yeah.
Boy who cried wolf.
He is the boy who cried wolf. I literally have a note written down that says, yeah, my note is, the boy who cried wolf. Why doesn't he just rewrite the story?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, how good of a writer is this this 14-year-old who threw something together in a few hours just so he wouldn't have to go to summer school. Like this is like a complete just like throw the ball away type paper, and it's being pegged by the
He
hottest
doesn't even
producer in
want
town.
credit. He just wants him to make the phone call to his dad that he did. He
Mhm.
doesn't want money. For
Yeah,
that
Asking
script.
much.
Yeah, I was thinking like I would like settle this in court, but that's not what Jason's after. He wants his dad's respect and
Yeah.
trust.
Well, Marty's too pretentious. You can't risk it.
Well, he's got money on the line. You know?
Exactly. This is his life you're playing with here.
I like how
His
like
career.
once like the trailer comes out before the movie even starts shooting, and like on the news they're like next summer surefire blockbuster. They're like this is gonna be the biggest movie of all time. It's like what indicators are there?
It's Marty Wolf.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
He was the whole hype behind it.
That's true. Do we doubt Nolan? I don't think we do.
I don't.
No. So
So if Marty Wolf is popping off with these hits and he says, "Hey, I'm dropping this heat next summer," Big Fat Liar.
that's true. It's like
People would be
Nolan's
like,
The
"Holy
Odyssey.
shit."
We're like we're not. I don't have any reservations about that. I'm like okay, I'm there. That makes
Oh.
sense.
Also, in this scene, he gets hit while he's riding a bicycle
Yeah.
because he got his skateboard stolen from him by bullies.
Oh, we will get back to them. I promise you, I have that in 2 other categories. I took a dookie and I clogged the toilet. Oh boy, what a mess. I've got their reunion in Marty's office when he burns the paper.
Oh yeah,
You smoke cigars, hot shot, and he's
I'm
got a
14.
huge stogie.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, suit yourself.
we gotta get rid of the ping pong table and get a W table. That's what he has in
Dude,
his
his
office.
safe.
The big,
Like his safe is behind like a big portrait of like a bunch of pictures of himself.
let's just get this looking like his office.
And that brings up some more. I had a lot of questions. How shoddy is the security on Marty Wolf Pictures headquarters? Because these kids are able to sneak in and out all the time. But he's a smart kid, you know.
It's so that receptionist lady is so dumb.
She was
They
pretty
just
dumb.
lured her out like, oh yeah, your car's parked on a dog's tail. She
Well,
gets all emotional.
They caught her weakness. She had all the dogs.
Well,
They were
no,
like,
yeah.
let's play to our strengths and her weaknesses. Something I don't even know. I'm not gonna explain anything. I'm just gonna drop it. What have I done? That's Marty Wolf over the top after he drops the cigar on the paper.
Pours the liquor on it, just
Stay back.
Kites it.
blowing up in flames.
What are you gonna shoot me with a spitball? Huh? Gonna give me a wedgie? Grow up. This is Hollywood, baby. Like, Jason thinks he's special. Marty's probably done this so many times. This is just another day in the office for him.
Been through it.
He says when he calls for security, he's like another ungrateful writer. I have the Hungry Like the Wolf sequence, which is where Martin J. Wolf, I don't know if that's his middle initial, I just said it. He turns blue.
Mhm.
And his hair turns orange.
Yeah.
And he sees it in the mirror and he screams, "Oh my god!" And it cuts like 5 times, like further and further outside. What a great morning routine. You wake up, play around with the monkey. Not like that. That sounded a little rough.
Right.
With your stuffed monkey, Mr. Funny Bones. Then you go for a swim to Duran Duran. And you take a shower and then, big movie business.
And he's in his his Burberry swimsuit. I think that's what the brand is.
I didn't notice.
Designer swimsuits.
Yeah. It's fitting him pretty nice too.
He's the top dog.
Yeah, he's the big wolf.
He has to act like it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's the alpha wolf.
Frankly, to me as a child, this is where cinema peaked. I was like, holy shit, you could do this?
He was hitting it too. The little dancing.
Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
thrust.
And he was so into it, he didn't even notice he was dyed blue until he was in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he noticed that the shit was orange. Oh, also his earpiece is super glued to his ear. Not ideal. Not
Sure.
ideal.
Fucking dried.
Yeah, the eyebrows dyed and everything.
And then
This one little tiny little thing of dye in this huge swimming pool dyed his skin blue.
He was like dark blue. Like he was really blue.
It was just a tiny little thing, like probably no more than like 12 ounces of dye.
shit spreads.
He was dark blue.
and he didn't notice until he was in the shower, and the first thing that looks off to him is he realizes that the shampoo was orange.
He was washing his eyebrows.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
little
with his-
soul patch.
His
Yeah.
blue arms.
And the last one I have, even though I'm sure there's some that I missed, I have Marty's presentation about the revised Big Fat Liar script at the after party of the Jaleel White Chicken Cop movie, which is an insane sentence that I just said. But when he's like, God bless all of you, God bless America, and God bless Big Fat Liar. And he's, Jason's in his ear, and but he goes off script, and he's like, lying has got to stop. It's just, Giamatti was crushing it in that scene.
In the middle of it, he just rips out the ears.
Yeah, he's like, the emotions of this film are so painful. Yeah, he's going for it, and he like whips off his hat. He's like, whoa, his hair turns all orange. And he like grabs the guy by the shoulder and like, he's like, I've been there, brother. He knows how to work the people. What this scene made me think was in 2028 or in 2025, let's say there was an election this year, Marty Wolf could run for office.
He could.
You see that cadence? The way he's able to bullshit off the top of the dome, the way people respond to it. Because President Universal or whatever he's like, I'm canceling this movie. And then, he sweet talks him and he's like, all right, I'm giving you another shot, Wolf. So like, I think Marty could totally like run for president, honestly.
Imagine
Imagine the Wolf administration.
Oh my god.
How many wars would we end up in? No, he'd end all war. What are you talking about? He'd be like, I'm a man of money. That's what I have. What do you any others? There's some big ones I missed. The whole ending is kind of just a big thing. Like I don't know how to separate it.
Yeah, there were 4 scenes I think that I put that you didn't put.
Okay.
I got the like montage of the kids in the wardrobe.
I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? This is 2 minutes of filler.
They were just having fun.
That's true. They were.
Set the vibe of
A poorly
how they were
secured
feeling,
Universal warehouse.
I got Marty ripping apart the old guy, the stunt guy.
Oh, Lee Majors, yeah.
He was going in on him.
You could take
He was
your
not
personal
looking
day
back.
in a year or two when you're dead. When they're all laughing at the imitation of the clown.
Yeah, and I got Marty as the clown pulling up to the birthday party.
I think that was my favorite scene as a kid. I was like, dude, they're kicking
Dude,
the
he
shit
was-
out of him.
not backing down against those kids. He was fighting back.
He gets fucking speared. He's like, you hear him like saying, he's like, I'm a very powerful producer.
I got another one that we just missed out on. It was Brett over at the grandma's house doing chin-ups on the couch. 50. And she's like lifting the yarn.
Like right at the beginning, when we find out their plan, he like knocks on the door. He's like, I'm benching like 220, 230.
Yeah.
He's like, you're
Oh, good for you. Yeah. Any other ones?
and yeah, I just got the end. The
Yeah.
whole chase into the rooftop scene.
Yeah, I like when leading into that. There's the whole Jaleel White jumps out of the car. Lee Majors comes in with the helicopter. Like this dude's just getting fucked with. A few thoughts sprang into my mind. So Jason is able to, gather all these people who either work or have worked for Wolf to conspire against him. And they put together this elaborate plan like overnight. And I'm like, should he be in charge of the Pentagon? Do we think that's what he grows up to do? Or do we think he just works at like AutoZone? Like he's very good at strategies and direction. They're all like, whatever you say, 14-year-old.
Yeah. This
I think he could be in charge of, fucking world.
I think this plan, I think Marty could sue him for like emotional abuse because this is just one big prank.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's just doing too much to poor Marty.
if our defense to like world terrorism instead of war was just like fucking pranks, like if we were trying to prank Bin Laden for 10 years, I think he would have been the man to do it.
Yeah.
And then another thought. So put your thinking caps on, everyone. This is impromptu. Jaleel White is driving Marty like a fucking maniac through the desert, and Marty jumps out of the car. Here are, in my opinion, the Mount Rushmore of jumping out of cars, moving cars in movies, because I could only think of 4. So if anyone else can think of one, I have this. There's Steve Carell in Crazy Stupid Love, who is driving and then really slowly pulls over and like kind of pathetically like jumps out because he's depressed. And then there's Buddy Duress in Good Time, and there's Saoirse Ronan in Lady Bird. Is there anything else?
I can't think of it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Who wins that?
I gotta go with Buddy Duress and Good Time.
It's Good Time or Lady Bird for me, because both of them have consequences. Like, yeah, if you jump out of a moving car, like you're gonna fuck yourself up. Giamatti dives out of here and he's fine. And then the Crazy Stupid Love one is kind of just like he's going so slow because he just found out that his wife porked David Lindhagen. But yeah,
Anytime Vin Diesel has jumped out of a car in Fast and
Yeah.
Furious in the past 5 movies.
that's true. I'm sure he has.
Just
sure he
jumping from car to car
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
50 feet, landing
Over
perfectly on
bridges.
another car.
Yeah.
If there are 2 people I'd love to have on here, it'd be Vin Diesel and Paul Giamatti.
Both at the same time.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, just watch him
jeez.
cook. And then another thought I had during the ending, like the last time we see Marty, when they're all just walking away from him, and he's like, "Let's get ready to roll. I'm Marty Wolf," and they're all just like, "Yeah, whatever." What would happen? Just imagine if he was like, "Everyone, look," and he midsummered himself off the building and just fucking dove off. What would they do?
Like Samuel Jackson and the other guys
Yeah.
just jumped off.
They would just clap.
Yeah, but I'm not even thinking like in the other guys, like they're delusional and they're like aim for the bushes even though there were no bushes. I'm thinking Midsummer just like sacrificial. I'm out.
Okay, this leads to my first question. So in this scene, Marty is yelling at Jason. He's like, "I'm gonna get you, Shepard," and starts chasing him. What is he gonna do to him if he gets to him? Like, what are his intentions here?
Yeah.
Murder him.
Kill.
Like, is he gonna like assault this little kid before he jumps off the roof? Like,
Maybe he's gonna like hang him over the edge.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop him.
I'm gonna drop him off the top.
I really wish the teacher was in this scene too, so she's just like, no more summer school, just to throw it in there.
it's summer school. Were you guys terrified of summer school as a kid? Remember like watching the Drake and Josh summer school episode, and that scarred me because there were like those goth girls and the barking dog, and they'd like tie the teacher up.
Wait, I thought that was detention.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was that
was
detention?
I don't know.
That's just what I think of. Like that's just what I
Um,
think of.
I don't think I
Yeah,
ever
because, like,
thought of it
summer
as
school.
I know it is a real thing, but I have in my mind just like a library of stuff that I think of as not real, which is basically just like stuff from the 2000s. I was like, I don't know. I've always just put summer school in that cabinet.
Summer
I
school
think it
sucks.
was remediated English.
I don't remember. That's
Somebody
just what I
told
think
me.
Because
of.
I remember it was the episode where Drake was dating the English teacher's daughter. That's crazy. I remember that. But let's.
Well,
That's another dance.
so you know who you're talking to. I have just years of useless bullshit stored up in that.
What was the teacher's name? Something Hefner, maybe? Or is that another?
Oh,
teacher?
no, like
Mrs.
that-
Hefner.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
like that annoying teacher.
Yeah, that was
They,
in,
like
way
when they had
too
to
much.
watch her dog.
Yeah,
that
That episode.
Is that the
scared
one
me.
where they're in the
That was
bathroom?
scary. Yeah,
They're hiding in the
Whittling
bathroom because
stuff.
the dog.
Oh yeah.
What are you guys going with for best scene? I'm gonna let someone else go first because I'm kind of torn.
I had to go the Tim turning blue
Yeah, that's what
before
Yeah.
he's dancing.
Yeah, that's the best.
I think I have to go with that too, with a close race in the Big Fat Liar presentation.
Limo,
That
yeah,
really connected with me. This
limo
time.
scene's also great.
Legends. Billy, what are you going?
Yeah, I agree. Turning blue. But I also had him. I wrote him getting assaulted at the kid's birthday,
Yeah.
and I like that one a
What a
lot.
little shit rat, dude.
And it comes full circle at the very end.
This movie ends. The last shot is Academy Award nominee Paul Giamatti making it's very close up, and he makes a pained expression after getting kicked in the balls, and then cuts to black.
Nutcracker.
Yo, Lil Mesh,
Yeah,
from
that-
the Nutcracker.
That monster truck driver
Oh,
dude just destroyed his car.
Hang on, we're gonna get to him. Trust me. Best quote. In fact, we're getting.
I got a lot of quotes.
I have two.
Everything Marty says. could be
Yeah,
a
there was
quote.
too much good Marty currency for me to write all of it down, so I have two non-Marty quotes. Got one from Jason right in the beginning when he's getting, shaken down for his skateboard. Now you're going from harmless bully to hardened board jacker, which made me think, just like, what if there was a movie? I feel like in these I tend to go with fantasy movies about people turning to life of crimes. Or lives of crime. That's what I tend to like make up during these. But I was thinking, like, what if there was a movie about this guy Brent who just really wants a skateboard and like, I don't know, doesn't have the means. His parents won't get him one, so like he has to become a board jacker to fucking grind. That made me giggle. And then I have, for some reason I have a feeling at least Jack will have this one. Maybe not. I don't know. When he said it, I thought of you. When the master says, "Who's the tough guy now, pal?"
Yeah.
Those are two I have. Anything Marty Wolf says. That's why I didn't have all those.
Okay, I got a few Marty Wolf quotes, but I'll say the ones that aren't his first. I think you said it. You said it earlier that, "Hey Kaylee, got a plunger? I took a dookie and I clogged up the toilet. Oh boy, oh no!" And he starts laughing.
And he goes, "What a mess."
So
And I got Frank the limo driver. He's like, "I got some rated R dialogue. I'm gonna keep it PG.
I'm gonna keep it PG.
And
He was in Clueless.
I got the tow truck driver. It's like they said I'd be picking up a little blue car. They didn't say anything about a little blue man. Those are my non-Marty ones. I got a few Marty ones though. If anyone's got anything
Are we
else.
doing non-Marty? My favorite Marty one, because there were so many, so I had to take a bunch out. But I just liked during the chase, "You can't outrun the wolf, kid." I like that one. But I also had the little blue man, and I also had Brent.
His Dookie monologue.
His Dookie monologue.
I took a Dookie and I clogged up the toilet.
I had Marty when he's getting off the bus all disheveled. The two people are like, "Oh, sweet Moses, what is that?" Don't look in his eyes. When he's getting off the bus, he's all blue and messed up. And then when he's like speeding down the road, he almost crashes. He's like, "Get glasses, Grandma," and she goes, "Up yours, blue boy." And then I had the tow truck driver one, and then all my other ones are just Marty
Gold.
yeah, I just had Marty quotes.
All right, you guys want to get into them?
Sure, you're not the senior VP of Twinkies.
Yep, I got that one.
That's who I had.
Oh,
my favorite.
so that stupid lady eating the Twinkie at the end.
Yeah.
Worst thing about this movie. I hated that so much.
She showed him.
She thought she was doing something eating that Twinkie.
They had to throw it in there.
I hated that moment.
Another Marty one.
Love the quote though.
After they hit Jason and he goes, "I'm on the phone." You hear him in the background. He goes, "Sorry, I just think we hit a kid or something." Whoever he's talking to.
I've never noticed that.
And in the limo scene also, he's just like, "Must be really tough being 11 or something like that." Being
Oh,
11.
Oh, really? Why don't you tell me about it?
And he calls him Ebert. It's like everyone has a dry shell, Ebert. He's like, "It's Jason." Where did he get that?
Roger Ebert,
Oh,
the critic.
yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
He calls him a few other names too.
Yeah.
It's like everything but Jason.
I got when Marty's talking to the stunt guy. He's like, "I looked at the first time I saw it in 1942. You dinosaur."
This is the movie business, Grandpa. The talkies.
Grandpa.
Any other ones?
Wolf
That's it
Owl.
for me, right?
Wolf Owl.
Wolf
Yeah.
Owl.
Yeah.
One that has stuck with me my whole life was Julia White saying, "Wolf, how many times do I have to tell you not to call me Urkel? My name is Jaleel White. Urkel is the name of a character I played when I was a child." Sixth Man.
Oh, I got a few.
Category.
I got like 7.
I have.
But I think this movie as the best sixth man of all time.
Okay.
Of all time. And that is the sister's boyfriend. I think
I
that
have.
is
That's what I
the
had.
best sixth
That's
man
all
in
I
any
had.
movie ever.
I have.
Oh, I had to.
Really?
Mhm.
I have a few. I have Brent and his cronies.
Mhm.
You know, you guys know I love
I guess
douchebags.
I did put douchebags on there.
They do one of my favorite douchebag
Yeah.
things ever, which is when they all laugh and then the leader does like cuts them off. I've always appreciated that, and then when they see him riding the sister's bike, they're like, "Oh, freak!" Oh, and they're holding basketball. I have the kid in summer school with the ginger afro holding a possum.
Yeah.
He's in one shot. He made me laugh. I've got Rudy, who might be the runaway winner, and I have the Masher.
The Masher.
Wearing a mesh tank top in a huge fucking monster truck called the Masher, and he comes out and goes, "Oh my god!" It made me think, like, what if Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master was actually just called The Masher, and it was about Joaquin Phoenix, and instead of Philip Seymour Hoffman as like a cult leader, it's just the fucking Masher, and he gets really into monster trucks. That would have been pretty cool. Are we all going with Rudy?
I'm running
It's gotta
Rudy.
be.
He's in
Yeah.
one scene.
I got.
He's got
yeah.
like 3 lines.
He says, "Yo, what's up, dog? How you living, yo? What's cracking, kid? Peace out, Lil G."
"Oh yeah."
I think that's like he's going
He
for
comes in so hot, and we never see him again.
Where is he now?
it. So that's who I am. He's my number one.
Yeah.
But other ones that of note, there's one of the classmates in the beginning when Jason's telling his lie. He just like makes this face. It shows him for
Is
a
it the
second.
spiky hair kid?
Yes.
I clocked him too.
I got this like a big black guy security guard.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I
wrote the Nutty Professor." He reminded me of a freight train from Big Time Rush.
Oh yeah, the big security guard carrying him downstairs.
Yeah, I got the monster truck driver, the tow truck driver, and towards the end when Marty's giving when he's giving his like big speech.
The scene I said I like.
Yeah, there's when Marty asks like everyone like who's ever told a lie. There's some dude that like I don't remember how he says it, but he like yells guilty or something.
Oh yeah.
Just as guilty, that guy. I don't think we see him. We just hear
No, I
some
think he's just
guilty
off
guy.
Yeah, that's who
Uh,
I got.
best shot. I've got 2. I've got during the hungry the wolf sequence when before Marty realizes he's blue, he like runs up the stairs and he goes he growls. There's that. I have that, and I have Marty disheveled in the desert with the helicopter
Yeah,
landing
I got
behind
that.
him.
That's what I
It
put.
went so
It
hard.
would have been a fucking album cover. It was
So hard.
Because he doesn't know. Are we all going with that?
That's what I have. That's
I got
really what
that.
I had when he was leaving the helicopter when he got back to the studio.
I had that too.
He's just
Yeah.
he's just tweaking.
That one, his hair
It's-
super.
yeah, his
spiky.
hair is like all the way pushed back.
Yeah, he's like 30.
He's sand all over his suit. That one's good.
Don't worry, Wolf. I'm a professional. Grandpa's been doing this a long, long time.
How do you guys feel about the slow motion walk up the lawn?
That's what we were
Oh,
just talking
yeah.
about.
Oh, is that what you guys are talking about?
Oh, up the lawn.
Yeah.
Like to Marty's
With
house.
the driver, yeah.
Very 2002.
They thought that was so hard.
And it was. Best moment, if
Oh,
you guys have
I got a few.
I only wrote down one. I have Marty's limp handshake in the limo.
I have one.
So that's just perfect. All right.
I
what do you
got you smoke cigars, hot shot.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Marty's face when Jason's getting kicked out of his office for the first.
Is it when he's
time.
like, oh.
Yeah. I got Marty in bed with his monkey.
Give me back my monkey.
And Marty getting himself hyped up in the mirror, like putting on a whole bunch of different outfits. That
Yeah.
whole montage.
Yeah, it cuts them out of nowhere. Like Jason's delivering, he's briefing his militia here, and then it'll just cut to Marty for 2 seconds, like robot dancing.
Yeah. And the other ones we already talked about was, are you sure you're not the senior vice president of Twinkies? That was great. And then
It's
the
just a
glass-
shot of the lady.
the grandma
Yeah.
saying,
Eat
"Up
my
yours,
bloomers, blue boy. Anyone else got anything?
Best moment, I just have the bully putting up his fingers to silence his crew.
I love when that happens.
That was
That's a
amazing.
great one.
That is douchebag.
Mhm.
I had the standoff just because I liked how he was.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever he was talking to, and then he goes like, "Oh, what's going on? What's the kid's last name? Jason
Shepard?
Shepard
Oh, yeah.
goes, "Oh, what's up, Shepard?" And then he like stops and turns.
Drops the phone.
Yeah.
And
And
they
There's the
zoom in
the
on
good,
the
the bad,
phone.
the ugly
Immediate
stuff.
shift of focus.
Mhm.
Like he was on his way to save his production career.
But he had to
He heard this kid,
he had to continue his beef with the kid.
and he immediately stopped. And I just loved that. That was mine.
Ed Harris. I've got 3 candidates, but I think there's a super clear one. I have Miss Caldwell, the teacher in the beginning, played by Sandra Oh. I can see there being, if he was a man, he's just like an older teacher.
Yeah.
Ed Harris. He'd be like, quit bullshit, me kid. Say something like that. I have, what if instead of Jaleel White playing himself, it was Ed Harris playing Ed Harris under Marty Wolf's thumb?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
But the one I feel like you gotta go with is Rocco, the head of security at Marty Wolf Pictures.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That was my immediate, because like I feel like the guy who plays him is like the same age,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the
Rocco
same
Malone.
same demeanor. Yeah,
Yep,
he's-
yeah.
yes, forgot his last name. Rocco Malone. He's like senior. He's like head of security.
For
Marty,
Marty
Wolf
Wolf Pictures. That's exacally how I have it written down for who could Ed Harris play.
It's just his line.
Yeah,
That's my easy Ed Harris winner. Does anyone have anything else?
that's what I'm going with.
I just put instead of the grandma, it's Ed Harris.
It's
That's
Ed
the
Harris.
grandma.
What if Ed Harris was the monster truck driver?
I
Oh my god.
think Paul Giamatti played this too perfect for Ed
Yeah.
Harris to replace him. So I don't think Ed Harris would be a fit here.
Good
No.
candidate.
I agree.
Any other final thoughts? Any
Um,
questions,
Yeah, I got it.
concerns, comments?
Gaffles.
They're when they go to the movies,
Yeah.
very big Coke product placement. The way Amanda Bynes is holding her cup, Coke logo out. Like,
Didn't
that's not
notice.
how you hold a cup.
It is when you're going. I wonder what they were seeing.
So, them pretending to be Mr. Stroog,
Yeah.
is that illegal? Like, did they break a law there? Like, a genuine question. Like, pretending to be this guy and using his limo service.
Probably not something you go to like jail for.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like a misdemeanor. Could have Mr. Stroog, when we see him for like a second, also crossed my mind for Ed Harris when he's at the airport, kind of just like looking around.
The fur king of the Midwest.
So when Marty like goes to see the stunt, his fit was so tough. He's wearing striped pants, a black Versace t-shirt, tan jacket, sunglasses on his shirt, a gold bracelet, and a watch. He was looking tough. He was being Marty Wolf.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's hot shit.
He's got swag.
When he shows up, Blue, to the birthday party, just the kids yell, "It's the clown! Let's hurt him!" Why are they so violent? Why do they want to beat up this clown? Does the actual clown that goes there know he's about to get beat up,
Probably.
or is that just a surprise?
Probably, yeah. I'm used
Yeah,
to
he's
it.
probably been in that house before. He knows this little shit.
Bring back like renting a clown.
Let's become clown.
Mhm.
Do kids still want clowns at birthday parties?
Probably not.
When do you think the last clown was like rented?
It probably did a lot of damage to them.
Yeah.
Like if I was running like a clown service and fucking it becomes a blockbuster,
Or if
my
you-
head would be in my hand.
Or if you went to clown school.
Yeah, clown college.
Yeah. That would suck.
You people have stood in my way long enough. I'm going to clown colleges for The Simpsons.
Get back in your mouse.
Okay, I got 3 more things.
Get back in your mouse.
This is a
Tell the
question-
clown.
I guess
Oh.
this question's
Dildo
directed
jokes.
at Jack. The stuff they do to his car, is that possible? The stuff they like mod his car out to do, like the brake is the horn.
It looked like they were like ripping apart like his fuse box, and they were just swapping everything around.
Is
where,
that like something you can do to a car, or is this just like
It
some
wouldn't-
Hollywood tricks?
it wouldn't take that quick to do it. Like when he's hitting the brake, obviously it's probably like it's over the sound, and then like the wipers and everything like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they really fuck his car up.
I'm sure it's possible. You just have to reroute everything in like your fuse box. And,
So on top of being an insane, writer, apparently Jason's also just an
Technically
engineer.
gifted.
Mhm.
yeah, like they were just ripping it apart. You're
They
saying,
had
"Oh,
the
you shouldn't
car's
touch that."
manual.
That
That'll
I don't think it would have taken 2 minutes to do all of that, but
He does all this stuff on the clock.
Yeah.
Under pressure.
think about if they couldn't do that to his car. Like how different would the movie have gone?
He would have encountered the masher.
They
He
didn't
would have
do
got his
research.
car destroyed, so he wouldn't have been late.
Yeah, he would have made it on time.
Yeah.
Everything probably would have went as planned.
When he's on the phone leaving his house for the first time post turning blue, and he's like, "I can't make it. I'm blue." And his assistant's like, "We all have bad days." And the way he says, he's like, "No, you don't understand." He's like, "In my hairs." He's like on the verge of tears. He really kills it.
What's Marty Wolf doing in 2025? Is his career dead and he's just like canceled
One bedroom
throughout
apartment.
the next 25
Uber
years?
Eats.
Uber
I
Eats.
would
Yeah, I think
assume
he's
so.
just a disgraced
Or
Hollywood mogul.
Do like the letterbox users like give him a second chance and like this dude's actually great, let's give him a second shot at a career.
I don't think that happens. Hollywood's not really full of second chances, especially when you're a fucking menace. Did you guys see Kevin Spacey released another video?
I did not.
He dropped another one. I guess Guy Pearce said something about working with him on the set of LA Confidential. It's not great. It's not great. Updates from Kevin Spacey in 2025 aren't really what you want to see.
And my final thing to say about Big Fat Liar is always get it in writing.
Yeah.
If you're on a time crunch and you take a ride from Hollywood producers, make sure you take everything out of the limo with you because you don't know what they'll use against you. Should Jason have taken this to court? Nah, that'd be a waste of money and time. I guess they didn't have any proof. The
Yeah,
original
got
document.
burned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
burnt by a stove. Any other final closing thoughts on this movie that we had a lot of fun with?
Biffle.
Biffle, yeah. Free spin.
We got a title drop. No gambling.
No gambling.
Freeze frame when the title comes up in the opening.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin this wheel.
What do we got?
Finding one of Jack.
Oh,
It
there we
follows.
go.
2014. I've seen this movie. I saw this movie once years ago. Haven't seen it since. So
Is your pick?
revisit.
Yeah. Have we all seen it in here?
I've seen it.
I
Good.
haven't
We've all
seen
seen it. Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
All right.
All right. Next
us-
week, it follows.
Wolf out.
Wolf out.
Wolf out.
You're a freaking liar! Come clean with your wife so you can go forward!